It's funny, this picture of, there's a ship here, and this is a street here. I was born in one of these houses. And so my earliest memory is looking to the south and seeing this giant ship at the end of the street blocking out the sun. I'd also watch thousands of men walk to work every day in the yard and imagine as a child that was what it meant to be a grown-up. But of course, it was the last thing I wanted. The shipyard was terrifying, dangerous, dark, noisy place. And so I had this fantasy of being a musician and a songwriter. Escaped, but at one point in my life I realized that the community that had brought me up was important to me. And I owe them a great debt because I was raised in this kind of surreal industrial environment, which was very symbolic, powerful symbolism of it. And so I wanted to tell the story of my community, which was robbed of its identity when the shipyard closed down, and tell their story in an honorable, profound way, if I could, which is what The Last Ship is. It's my attempt to honor my community. It's set in the 80s, but I think those themes of losing your work, losing your identity are still with us today, especially in the north of England, where industries have closed down and we still haven't found work. Work is vitally important for everyone, men and women. And that theme resonates now, I hope.
Liverpool and Newcastle have a lot in common.
They do have a lot in common, they're both maritime cities with a great maritime history, also a fierce regional identity. There are many parallels between the towns, and so I think the people of Liverpool will respond to it in a way that, expecting it will resonate here. People will recognize the themes and recognize themselves or their parents or their grandparents in the story. I get very emotionally moved. I can't quite explain why I get so moved. But happily, there are other grown men in the audience crying as well. It's very odd. Mainly men start crying, and I can't explain it. You have to come and see it yourself to figure that one out. I think, in a sense, at some point in your life, you have to go back to the river that spawned you. You have to go back to where you come from to understand yourself. The reason I think in a certain way, the way I behave in a certain way, was formed in the first 10 years of my life in that community. So in many ways it's a kind of self-therapy, and I don't have a psychiatrist. I sit on my own couch and I write songs about my reaction to my experiences of my life. Also, it was kind of nice to write about other people and not myself. Not writing confessional songs, but to write about people I knew and tell their story for a change. Well, I think it's a very entertaining evening. It's not all gloom and doom. There's a lot of joy, a lot of laughter in the production. But there are some serious themes which will resonate with people, and I think it's a play that you think about. It's not just an evening out. I think it remains with you. That was the intention anyway.